Sunday sharp do 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 do. Sunday sharp do 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 do. Sunday sharp do 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 do. Sunday sharp. Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. Welcome. Hey, good Abend. Willkommen. Bonjour. Hola. Ciao. Konnichiwa. And whichever your preferred method of greeting is. And thank you for showing up. Let's all get some hellos out of the way. Good evening, or good day even, or actually good morning for you, I think, Mark. And Kay and Muppet and Greg, greetings, 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 and salutations. Hope all are well. Obviously, there is kind of a large elephant in the room with recent occurrences in the UK, which I will cover straight away by saying anyone with anything nasty to say about Her Majesty can go away, because if you do, you will be blocked. Just wanted to get that out there and let everyone know, because reasons. Only Oscars, hello, thank you very much. June, I believe. I'm starting to learn names, struggling with my own, but yes. So literally the only constant in anyone's lives under the age of 70. Yes, unfortunately she passed this week. Very sad day. We're in yes, we are in a national 10-day mourning period until her funeral on the 19th. And yeah, it hit me harder than I thought it would, definitely. I was at work when I found out about it, and yeah, let's just say that wasn't a fun end to the shift. Yes, so rest in peace, Mom, and God save the King, King Charles III. Thank you very much, Mark. Yes, I've seen some very, very nasty things posted online. I understand there's going to be jokes. Some of them were kind of funny. Still a bit soon, in my opinion, but then I was one of the first to start making Princess Diana jokes, so yeah. Ooh. Oh, hang on. Getting all the blooming notifications come through because I've not turned my computer on since Monday. It's incredibly annoying when you actually watched most of them as well. Evening, Danny boy. He says, son, I made my life out of bringing a load of Bristleys. For a slice of your Sunday, I'll give you some advice. It's touching and lovely gestures of affection. Yep. So Joe Biden had his. Vladimir Zelensky, even. I'll say pretty much every head of state has. Any minutes of silence at sporting events have been observed perfectly in the UK. Not so sure about elsewhere. G'day, Scotty. How you doing? And Debbie. Yes, much loved by many. I'll say that will be the most watched thing on TV this decade, if not this century. Um, a new to the Gamble by Kenny Rogers. Yeah, well, if I can remember how that goes. So yes, a sad occurrence. I didn't do a video on Friday out of respect, and also I did try to do a kind of thank you, mom. Sort of one of my, because it was Friday. I thought now maybe a history type video, talk about her life, various things that she's done and accomplished in her life. Made the notes and went to start recording it. And yeah, no one wants to see me blubbering away like that. So yeah, we didn't do anything. You can got the flags loads of half mast there. That's good to hear. But yes, so a new prime minister we didn't vote for, and a new king, all in the same week. Eek. Hello, Mary Page. How are you, my dear? Possibly more importantly than all that, I got some new fish. How's that going with the prime minister? Well, she's not done anything too bad yet, so she's not done a Boris yet, so fingers crossed. And the main things she's talking about are the cost of living crisis and the energy price crisis, and trying to fix those. Yes, new fish. We have new fishies just purchased today, and they're in a shrimp tank. Yeah, I know. I have a weird theory. All my shrimp colonies seem to do better when there's fish in the tank as well. Now, whether that's because the baby fish feed on what grows on the fish poop, or something else, perhaps the fish eat any sick shrimp. They've got a bridge to sell me, exactly. Hello, Rebecca. How are you? Hope all is well with you. So yes, if anyone can guess what kind of fisheries I may have purchased, yeah, they are freshwater, obviously. They have a wide variety of temperatures. Yeah, Danny Boy's on the right track. Shrimp safe, in my opinion. Daniel's actually almost in the right family. I think technically they're not a rasbora. They are a boraris, which is an anagram of rasbora because they're so closely related. Ooh, not phoenixes, K. No, no Oscars. Although the person who no, not chilies. Although the person who decided to breed the jaguar cichlids, fairly local to me, has managed to sell 2 of them. Mexicali, hello, hello, hello. That's our guest rasbora. They're in the shrimp tank. Danny, very, very close. We're on the right colour. because the emerald green actually is a rasbora, and Kay's got it with the Kubutai. Yes, yes, a little Boraras. Yes. Yeah, I can't remember what the scientific name is for a Kubutai rasbora or Boraras. Oh, Jean's got Oscar eggs. Oh, baby Oscar's zooming about the tank soon then. That's always good news. Well, I mean, you might spot something behind my head. Not Oscar's. I think everyone else knows exactly what's in there. Yes. So the batch of bristly noses that were in there are now in there because we ain't got a tank to put them in yet. And there's another batch of bristly noses in there. Mine all died slowly. Don't think they're in the best of health. 3. Yeah, I mean, we shall see how they go. I've only just got them. They've coloured up already, so, and they're feeding. So they literally only went in the tank at about 3 o'clock. So yeah, as long as they survive through to hopefully Monday, and I can make a video about it. Microdavario Kubutai. There we go. There's probably quite a lot of people who've got multiple fish named after them. Okay. Yes, lots of blurry eyes, or blurry eyes, as I get first thing in the morning. Yeah, the chap I was talking to in the LFS said he did keep them outside last summer, and the colours were amazing. We're coming up to time because I've got the first week in October off. Finally managed to book some time off work. I figured it's probably best to get through my trial period before I start having holiday. Iko always has Narcissus named after him. That sounds about right. Yeah, Herbert Axelrod. Yeah, lots of Axelroddies. I've got Herbert's book somewhere. Bloody heavy. His sort of A to Z of aquarium or tropical fishies. It's, yeah. And I think most of it is probably wrong these days. It's a rather old book, and I'm assuming a lot of the names have changed. F2 kept an unheated tank before. I don't know what F mine are, but I'll say they're in with the shrimp, so in the relatively cool tank. It might be a bit hard, but we'll see how they go because they weren't exactly expensive. I know, but every little life is of value. I know, but losing a £2.50 fish is a lot less upsetting than losing a £20 fish or £200. Yeah. So, but in other news of the week, obviously, yes, we had another hatch of bristly noses, so we now have 1,500 literally. We have 10 spawns of 150 odd. Been looking after the neighbours' cats all week because they were on holiday. I got given a heart attack on Tuesday. Before I went to work, I fed them, and Sparky, the little old ginger cat, she's 25. She's got a lump come up on her neck, and the vets aren't doing anything because anything they try to do is probably going to kill her anyway. And she's not suffering. She's still her normal grumpy little self. But I went in to feed them. She was fast asleep on the sofa with her eyes open. I stroked her on the head. Nothing. She's deaf as well, completely stone deaf. I was like, uh-oh. Stroked when she didn't move. Didn't wake up. Like, right, so grab her paw and start playing with her paw. Nothing, not even a twitch. But, oh no. Well, look closely, well, she's still breathing, so never mind. So off I popped to work, steeling myself for the worst and having to come home and, deal with an ex-cat. So I steel myself, get ready, open the door, go in. Meow, 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 meow. Oh, you little. Yeah, it just turns out she sleeps that deeply with her eyes open these days that she may as well be dead. Yeah, I could have done without that. Other than that, it's just basically been work all week. So I've got my hours increased, so I've got a 20-hour contract now. So woohoo! Not that I think I've actually done my contracted hours more than once in the 9 weeks I've been there. Mary is enjoying it. She's not quite started properly yet because she's still waiting for DBS checks to come back, as apparently they screwed that up somewhere down the line, wrong email address or something. Yes. And oh yes, Kay was asking about the muck guppies. I'd probably say when the water temperature starts getting below 70 at night, or below 60 anyway. Yeah, once it starts dipping below 70 in the tank, in the whatever they're in at night, it's time to bring them in. So as I got the first week in October off, that'll be when I do the shrimp and bring those in. If there are any left, we shall see, I guess. There might not be any left. It might have been a bad idea and just didn't work. It could be that perhaps there's something in the water that's got in there that's eaten them. We shall see when we empty it. If nothing else, I've grown lots and lots of mosquito larvae that have been feeding my fish. So there's that. And it's not like I'm short a few shrimp, let's be honest. What else has been going on this week? So Monday's video is on the pole fishing seat box, complete with a pouch tray of cat food that went out of date in 2015. Even I didn't open that one just to see. I was kind of tempted. It's like, well, do I open it on camera to see what kind of mess is in there? And I thought, no, even though I might not be able to smell it, it's probably going to honk to high heaven and be highly toxic, I would have thought. 7-year-old cat food, wet cat food. And yes, we do use cat food as a bait for fishing. And yeah, with the haggis and the yetis, yeah, you can't keep fish outside in the wilds of Scotland. And the kelpies, don't forget the kelpies, Dan, because them water horses. Well, trust me, you wouldn't want to smell it. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. So yeah, I just put it straight in the bin. I want to say straight in the bin, I mean straight in the bin outside, just in case it opened accidentally. I'd expect it to be fairly similar to surströmming. The is it a Swedish pickled herring, or not pickled, fermented herring? Oh, pardon me. Yeah, it's not going to be a good thing. Lowest I got indoors last year was 55. So yeah, I'm going to say as long as you're above 60, you're probably okay then outside with guppies, especially mutts, because they haven't been inbred to within an inch of their life. And you'll see how many you've got, how many more guppies you've made, and whether you've got enough room to put them. This is why I'm kind of partially hoping there aren't too many shrimp in that tub out there, because I've done no maintenance on it aside from tipping some water in there when the evaporation got it too low. I think I may have chucked in a few algae wafers every now and then, but that's it. It's not had water changes or anything like that. Technically, there's a sponge filter in there, but it's on a rather old, knaggered air pump, nano piezo air pump that barely pumps air. It's like a bubble every couple of seconds. Oh no, Dan, sorry about that. Dead black knight ram, that's not good. I know, yeah, there's a reason I don't keep rams. I tried it a few times and I don't think I ever got more than 3 months out of one. On their own, with softened water, as it were, cutting the water change water with rainwater, and in like the oldest tank with the softest water, and like very low nitrates and all that, and I couldn't keep them alive. They all either pine coned or Popeye and pine coned. I've been doing great, no idea what happened. Sometimes it does. They're tiny creatures. So the way I see it is, if we get a couple of cells in our bodies go wrong, it's no big deal. But if your heart is only a couple of dozen cells and a couple of them die, you could be in trouble. Oh, pardon me. So yeah, it doesn't take a huge amount to go wrong with a small creature for it to be fatal. Hopefully it's nothing bad and it's just one of them things. Have they started laying for you yet? That might be it. They might have been scrapping over breeding rights. Certainly, yeah, I'll say it'll be interesting to see what happens to your shrimp outside over winter, okay? Because mine are definitely coming in, but then they're only in a shallow, well, plasterer's tub, so it would probably freeze solid at some point. If I didn't have the, well, dragonflies, frogs, comets, all the other stuff in the pond, I might try shrimp in the pond, but I'm pretty sure they would just get eaten straight away. So yeah, but it'll be an interesting one to see, because there's a fair chunk of hornwort in that tub now. So yeah, we'll see how well they've done. The phone's going ping, 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 ping. I'm wondering if that's a Marrett type person. But yeah, that's one of them things. Sometimes fish just do seem to up and cark it for no apparent reason. Again, much like with fancy posh guppies, the black knight rams, I'm obviously line and heavily inbred, so you're dealing with that genetic weakness there as well. So, and I'm pretty sure it's nothing you've done, because I mean, your mistakes tend to come outside the fish tank, not inside it. So And you could probably accidentally demolish the house, but the fish tanks would be fine. Do you have your internet back yet, Dan? Is that fixed yet? Oh, there he is. There's that bloody Ricky again. Hola, Mr. De Hoyos. Hope all is well with you. And the lovely Dee Dee. And yes, again, I'll make my apologies for not being around this week. Work. Been a busy bunny. Hey, needs must. Bills need to be paid. Work needs to be done. And if I want to be getting extra hours and not getting sacked, then yeah, best to say yes when they ask if you would be willing to do an extra shift, like I am on Tuesday and tomorrow. Oh, thank you very much, Mark. Oh, there we go. Haha, this is showing up all the people that are lurking. So we have a Mississippi Hippie. We have Scotty and Nanu and Austin and Sherry, all been gifted memberships by the lovely Mr. Stelson. Very nice of you, sir. Yeah, I know, Dee Dee. It's just I know what the fish fam are like, and I know if people disappear for a while, people start worrying. Has anyone heard from such and such? Has anyone seen? Or has he been in chat? Or have they put up a video? Or people start worrying. So it's just letting people know that, yes, it's just busy and work and stuff. New logo. I like that one. I think I'm gonna theft that one. Consider it theftified. If I remember, that is. No, me, I'll forget. That's why I usually lurk and no one knows. Haha. Yeah, I mean, I've tried lurking before, and I struggle badly because someone will say something that I just can't not make the joke. To be fair, it's normally Dee Dee talking about wood, or something similar. Yes, because I mean, Ed is the man. It takes a special man to pull off a red beard. Ed does it with panache and style and daring do. You see, Dee Dee managed to get a few nice bits of wood this week. Hopefully they fit in the tank. Now the doctor's poking and prodding. If he pokes you wrong, just fart at him, Ricky. That's the easy way to solve that. Trick is to have your hands in the tank, so by the time you dry them and tight, the moment has passed. Yeah. The problem is I like to pay attention when I'm doing my maintenance and water changes, so I don't have anything on background music kind of thing. I'll stick a CD on, but yeah, I won't. It won't be something I have to pay attention to. Oh, Dan's going to inhale a kebab. Are you drunk already, Dan? And is it slices of elephant's foot or bits of chicken on a stick? No, no, Ricky, kebabs are not delicious. Not sober. Kebabs are what you eat after a night out clubbing or drinking, because the grease reacts with the alcohol and you throw everything back out again. Kelpie rump. Oh, yum, 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 yum. Um, for those unaware, a Kelpie is a Scottish folkloric creature. It's a horse that lives in the rivers and the lakes, and kills and eats people. Yeah. Yeah, let's just say doctors soon learn not to prod me in certain places. Yeah, exactly. And if you got rid of all the alcohol and the grease and the gunk, then you don't get such a bad hangover. And a kebab is great for that because they're about 90% grease and they've probably been there for about 3 weeks. Yes, Kelpies, yeah, they are a fae, and the Selkie is the sea version. Yes. Howdy, Jamie. How are you? Kelpie is also a breed of dog, probably a dog that likes to roll in seaweed on the beach. Let's see who gets that joke. Oh yeah, and I found a lighter on the road the other day. Spider pug, as an Aussie breed. It could well have come from Scottish descendants of Scottish immigrants. Um, don't normally drink while out clubbing. I used to have to drink very heavily to go clubbing. Not because of any form of social anxiety or anything. It's more I just had to be drunk to listen to that music. Um, what exactly is in kebab meat? That's why we call them elephant feet over here. And it sits there turning slowly on that spindle, and yeah, it looks like an elephant foot. Seals. um, I've not have I? No, I've not eaten a seal. I have eaten puffin. If you want to eat a bird that tastes of fish, puffin's the one for you. Wasn't a pleasant experience, but it's one of those things you do just to say you have. Yeah. Not been clubbing since I was 22. Too many young people made me feel old. Geez, Rebecca, I've got T-shirts older than you. Yes, I know the sealed clubbing joke. Yes, I've made that one. I've upset people in the past. Yes, leaving off work on a Friday night. Oh, what are you doing this evening? Oh, I'm going clubbing. Oh, cool. Where? Beach. What? Yeah, seal clubbing. Yes, that's not a proper kebab. They don't do doner in Greece. I know. I know. There was a Greek kebab place on the Sunday market at one point. They were actually rather tasty. and they got so used to us going there every Sunday from the model shop that there was always a queue, but we'd just wander over there and wave from the back of the queue. And by the time we got to the queue, it'd be ready. Sorry, keep harping away. I found the joke amusing at the time, even if the other people didn't. Yeah, music is not fun these days, Dee Dee. It is. The beat is always the same, and the melodies are very similar, and all the sounds are the same. It's just the voice is slightly different occasionally. But yeah, I'm back in the 90s. It was bad enough, and we had all sorts of different stuff playing in the clubs back then. You get some rock music, some industrial metal, some trance, some hip hop, Euro dance. You get stuff like the Prodigy and Utah Saints and Heaven 17 and God knows, all sorts. But yeah, very boring. So hence why I don't listen to that stuff. But Underground Uni and club that used to play 90s, noughties, also Queen and Emo stuff. Jamie says the 80s was the best. 80s pop music was the best for sure. Yeah. It was all different. You could hear a song, go, oh, that's Duran Duran, or that's Spandau Ballet, or that's Depeche Mode, or that's Flock of Seagulls, or Psychedelic Furs, or whoever, Bananarama. And you'd hear it and you'd know who it was, and you wouldn't have to get your phone out and use whatever that program is that tells you what the song is and whose voice they've used on it. Probably appreciate it's actually old enough to remember them as the club kids. They're all dead now. Addictions, yes, probably are. I used to have big hair bands with good heavy metal. Yeah, there was some decent metal in the 80s. Yeah, early 90s was good. Mid to late 90s it started going downhill generally because new metal sucked. Come on, Limp Bizkit, jeez, that's the death of music right there. Fred Durst. God, his back to front red baseball cap. There was only one person with talent in that band, and he quit. Yeah, I do enjoy my more symphonic metal these days. Fairly obviously, Nightwish. But yeah, changes in meter and signature and songs that weave and tell a story rather than just 3.5 minutes of 4/4 verse chorus bridge chorus. that to me now Dee Dee, you've added an extra word in that sentence. What issue is there was also country music in the 80s. Ciao Marco, condolences Queen Elizabeth. To me she was like a grandma, but excellently put. She was like a grandmother to all of us. So I won't say universally, but well over 90% of people have respected her. And yeah, just a constant throughout all our lives. And Fish fam, that word we don't say for another couple of months. Greetings. at least, yeah, that's one of the things that does wind me up. The kids have just gone back to school and there's already bloody Christmas cards and decorations in the shops. No, no, we've got September to get through. Then October, you can start putting out the Halloween stuff. Towards the end of October, you can start putting out the fireworks night stuff. Give it a couple of weeks, start of December, then start with the Christmas stuff. Oh, I'll bet I had the mince pies out. The mince pies will already be in the shops. Now we'll all have best before November to something or other on them. Got to prepare to avoid trick-or-treaters. That's simple. Just leave your outside light off and don't put the pumpkin out. Or if you're like me, just scare the bejesus out of them. That worked. I'm on the blacklist now. Nobody comes. Even the Santa wagon, when it comes around like the week before Christmas or whatever, yeah, they knock at every door but mine. Well, I mean, say if someone's going to offer a Christmas meal in June, well, we just call that a Sunday roast with all the trimmings. It's just for some bizarre reason, someone decided to use the cheap, nasty meat rather than something nice. I seriously don't understand why people would choose to eat turkey when there is other things available. I understand historically when it might have been the only meat that was available at the time. Eddie, darling, Eduardo, how are you? Long time no see, my friend. Hope all is well with you, you sexy beast. Yeah, we'll live on the first floor. Yeah, they don't want to go up the steps. Yes. And thank you for being a member for 2 months, Sherry. Lovely river beef. See, I think the nicest or the best meat I ever had for Christmas, I was sat here on my own. I had a nice Christmas, sat on my own, avoiding other people, and I did myself mashed potatoes, gravy, and a reindeer steak. Yes, I had a 16-ounce reindeer steak. Yes, I ate Rudolph's butt for Christmas. That really upset some people. It was really tasty. And thank you very much again, Mark, for the 5 more memberships. That is Scotty, Dee Dee, Christmas, Jamie, Debbie, and Mr. Wet Socks. Hi, Al. Yes, most generous, obviously. And I'm not entirely sure what's gone wrong here. We've got 20 people. Most surprising, we don't normally get that many people here. Must be something happening. Either that or for once there's not actually a Aquashella Con bash clash thing on this weekend in America. Something like that. One year Thanksgiving, parents went to visit grandmother, left me behind because he got to work, so I had KFC. Yeah, I mean, I don't eat chicken, but I think I'd rather have a KFC than turkey. Kentucky Fried Tumours, and yeah, nothing on telly. Okay, exactly. Um, Thank you, my lady, and welcome. We're still in mourning. Yes, we are officially in mourning until the 19th. Demand extra perks. Oh dear. Keystone clashes 23rd to the 25th. So, right, I'll try and remember, and then when nobody turns up that night, I'll know why. More new members and likes. We don't worry overly about the like button, DD. Unless you hit, is it 50 or 100? It doesn't really do anything. Yeah. Yes. Eduardo had paper at Thanksgiving once. I actually had someone ask me once why we don't celebrate American Thanksgiving or Independence Day in the UK. I'll let that sit with you for a moment. Square shape with a picture on. Yeah, Eduardo was eating the cards. Okay. Yes, seriously, Eduardo. Then I was watching one of the dumb things Americans have said videos, because they are endlessly amusing. Loco. Oh, Scotty's going to miss the clash. Never mind. Yeah, come and sit and waffle with me instead. Eating paper will give you worms. No, it doesn't. But yeah, they were talking about. Apparently, it was in a high school history class. They were talking about actually making Puerto Rico a state. And this one girl stuck her hand up and goes, "Yeah, but where would we put it?" And a couple of minutes later, they were like, um, and he says, "Oh, that's all right. We can put it where Rhode Island is, because no one cares about Rhode Island." It's like, Dad, it's a different country, for crying out loud. Mum, what English company kind of adopted me? We adopt honorary Brits. We do that, Ricky. Mum left the paper cover on. Yes, we've all done that. It's like when you got the pack of chewy sweets, Chewits in the UK, or something like that, or Opal Fruits, Starburst, and it's a hot day and they've got really sticky and it's almost impossible to peel the paper off, so you just don't bother. Eat the paper as well. Am I going to America for the clash? No, I'm not. One, my passport is 20 years out of date. And two, I can't afford it. Hello, Sky. Don't worry about being late. Cool, dear. I don't hold anyone to be here. You must be here at the starting time. We all have life. We all have things to do. Yeah, Giblet's still in. Everyone's done that one. Especially if it comes with the neck. As I have seen people thinking that the neck is actually the chicken or turkey's. Yes. Yes. People thought, yes, someone thought a turkey had a manhood the length of its body. No, that's the neck. Holds up on replay. Well, thank you very much. Giblet gravy, yes, exactly. That's the only reason the giblets go. Well, there's two reasons giblets go in. One is because giblets make awesome gravy, and second is because the weight of the giblets means they can charge more for the bird. Because they charge by the kilo or the pound. And if you add in a pound of giblets, if turkey's a male, where are its balls? They're internal, Eduardo. I know this from my many years of killing, plucking, and gutting chickens. They do have testes and they are internal. It's Kay used to enjoy a good disemboweling. Not the rapidity I was doing it, or a disembowling if you mistype. Yeah, that was the the same place on the turkey as they are in a chicken and every other bird, Eduardo. On the inside, yes. Quail's testes are huge for the size of the bird. Oh, and there's one. It's not. Is it a flea? There's some bug whose male genital part is like 3 times the length of its body. No, it's not a guppy. Although the way they bloody actually think it was. Pardon me. Yeah, let's just say when you're on the gutting line, you could tell when the birds coming by went from hens to cocks just by what you're pulling out of the insides. Inner eggs of chickens always on the bird. Yeah, when you literally go in like that, grab, pull to pull all the innards out. Yeah, you know when they change from male to female, female to male, because you get a couple of extra bits come out. Yeah, they literally just have an opening and then they pretty much squirt onto their own feathers and then rub it on the female's feathers in the right area, and then miracles happen and swimmers swim and stuff, and baby birds turn up. It's bird anatomy is weird. Cleaning gland. If the chicken has unlaid eggs, it won't have balls. Yes. Yeah. If you've been eating those, Eduardo, that's the testes, not non-descended eggs, as it were. Yeah, bird anatomy is very strange. I mean, considering it comes basically from the dinosaurs, it goes back that far. Oh, that's probably. Yeah, we were coming back today and had a peahen run across the road in front of us. Peahen, female peacock, and it was just far enough in the distance, and they're big and they're a fairly sizable bird, and they're brown, and the way it ran across the road, I swore it was a baby velociraptor. It looked like a little baby dinosaur running across the road with the tail out the back and the head straight out the front, and just the legs underneath going crazy. I was like, what? Oh, right, it's a peahen. Phew. It's the last thing we needed today was to encounter a cryptid. After some interesting encounters at the church we visited. No video. Because things got rather weird. Only 3% of male birds have a penis, including ducks. Yes. So when someone tells you to go suck a duck, yeah, they're not meaning à l'orange. Oh, Sherry's about to get into a taxi. She's going somewhere interesting and fun, hopefully. Not somewhere scary or bad or nasty. That's my normal memory of getting in taxis, is going somewhere I don't want to. Or leaving somewhere I'd rather not be earlier than I was meant to. Let's put it that way. Weddings and parties. Going to watch Sarah Millican. Have fun. It's a show from the 1970s, Eduardo. It was an American show. Starred Danny DeVito and Kaufman. Charlie Kaufman, was it? Charlie Kaufman? Oh dear, that was close. I don't know what I've eaten that's given me wind today. I really don't. I think it might just be an after effect of visiting old haunted churches. But yeah, so we encountered the normal three spirits we encounter when we visit that church. Young Wilfred and Reverend and Mrs. Boys. And then we encountered someone else. And something very, very strange happened. I smelt smoke. Later confirmed by Mary to be pipe smoke. Now, if you don't know, I don't have a sense of smell. So for me having a smell going up in my nose that I can smell something, that was a very strange experience. But yeah, it was definitely pipe smoke. So that was one of the other spirits in that graveyard of that church. But yes, Mary got led around by the hand by young Wilfred, and we had other encounters as well. So it was fun. Then we went to an LFS and we bought some fish. So fingers crossed, if I'm not too knackered tomorrow when I get home from work, I will film a video of the new fishies and upload it. If I am to, after an 8-hour shift and an early start, then it might just be the video of my rods and poles, which is barely pants, but hey, it finishes off my fishing gear, I think. Might be another little sort of appendage type one of just the odd stuff that I've not covered in the other videos. Seats, landing nets, that kind of thing. Unhooking mats, brolly. Oh, you'll love my fishing brolly. That's impressive. I think they were homebred. Okay, I think the guy actually lives up by you somewhere. Express Aquatics in Dis. I think the guy does come from Yarmouth area. Yeah. See my wagglers now, get to see my rod and my pole. Oh yeah. Yeah. Which will tell you why I sit there going, that's a rod, not a pole, when I watch American fishing videos. Bloomin' it, blast from the past, Simon Zamano. How you doing, friend? Haven't seen you for a while. I'm assuming life being life. Yeah, I'm all right. It's just everyone else. Why, thank you. Red Bull this time of day? No, I'll be all right. I'll be asleep. My body runs on caffeine. Some days, if I'm struggling to get to sleep, I will drink a can of energy drink and then fall asleep. If there's not enough caffeine in my system, I can't sleep. Things keep going wrong with my son's trip home. Car broke down, so he's not here yet. Oh no. Well, hopefully he gets there soon. sky, hopefully. Last time I had a cold. Damn. I mean, I had COVID in March, or COVID at Easter, basically. When did I have a cold before that? I can't remember. A long time ago. But anyway, good to have you back. And not a lot has changed. I mean, I work now, so, you know, I'm not a work shy layabout anymore. I finally twigged that, you know, breeding bristle noses and YouTube isn't going to pay all the bills, especially the way prices of everything are going up lately. So, yes, I have a job. I now work at a, I don't know if we can call it a catalogue store anymore because we don't have a catalogue. They've stopped printing them now. Yes, a place where people fix screws. Yeah, basically Argos for tools. Not that kind of tool. Yeah, although we get a few of them come in. Yes, that's the one. And I've got to say, with the managers I have at the moment and the colleagues I have at the moment, it's a blessed relief compared to my last job. You know, if you help out, you know, short notice, can you take this shift? So and so called in, or oh crap, I screwed up the rotors. We need some cover for this. Can you? And you say yes, you actually get appreciated for it. I mean, we had our store of the year visit this week. Or was it last week? No, it was this week. And I actually got from the area manager a card of thanks for the work I had put into it and being helpful and all that kind of sappy stuff. Which coming from the job I had been doing, where you know you're supposed to be doing 20 hours a week and you do 44, 45 hours, and then when you say to the boss that, you know, can you knock the hours back a bit, please, because this is starting to make me ill, and then they the business, the profits. Yeah. So yes, I think I might be doing okay at Screwfix. So, you know, considering I'm still technically in my trial period and I've been promoted and given a longer contract, I think we might be doing something right. And yes, there was a suggestion I got. Because we have two sides. We have the Screwfix side and the trade side, which is for the professionals, your plumbers, your decorators, your electricians, gas fitters. And it was like, oh, we can move you over there. And it was like, yeah, no, we're not, because we kind of need you over here. Hello, lovely Marit. How are you, my dear? Hope all is well in Scandinavian, Norvegicus, as the Latins would have called the Latins. Jeez, the Romans would have called Norway. The Latinians, don't ask and you won't tell. Oh dear, is it that bad, Marit? Well, big huggies. Not big huggies as in adult nappies. You know what I mean. Yeah, no, I'm not I'm not delving down the adult diaper, adult nappy route. That way lies some really bad jokes. Yeah, definitely really bad jokes. Probably demonetizable jokes as well, and we're trying to avoid that. As I say, there's something I normally do that I haven't done yet. That's because Bob's not here to remind me to do it, as Bob normally does. That's show some fishies. That's okay, Marek. So yeah, we show around a little bit. I won't show the new ones because we're waiting for video for them. Although if you know what a Kubitai Rasbora is, you know what they're going to be. So we'll start in our normal place. He says as he realises the laptop is sitting on top of the camera cable. So we have the shelly dwellies, get the camera straight-ish. So yes, shell dwellers doing shell dwellery type things. Yes, there are far less in there now. Having sold a bunch. And I think I may have sold the parents of some of the fry, because some of the fry have disappeared. Streamception. Yeah, we've got a batch of bristlies down there. Got, let's get a bit closer. Limias and snailies. Looking a little bit cloudy, just bacteria, blooms. Super red bristlies. Oh, somewhere around there. More super red bristlies. Oh, standard bristlies. Baby super reds. Baby standards and the quibbies. Oh, lots and lots and lots of snails. Mostly because we sell them. And if we come over here, we have, oh God, we got some escapees. Escapee bristle noses. Oh yeah, we got one lot in there. Oh, we're all tangled up again. Oh no. There's another lot of literal just hatched 2 days old in there. Corridories. Ropey looking neons. Lots of algae on the glass. Oh. Spotty's in the cave, but there's nothing in there with him. The jungle val's doing what jungle val does, gradually taking over the tank. Somewhere in there is the 2 electric blue acara, the 2 nanacara, and the rainbow fish. The rainbow fish is up by the breeder box. The algae bomb, more super red bristly noses. Nothing visible in there. There's another breeder box full of bristle noses in there, etc. So again, the theme is mostly bristle noses at the moment, and escaped bristle noses that are going to need to be caught. Because for some reason that breeder box keeps slipping down, and they're managing to get over the top. Let's see if we can do something about that, shall we? First of all, we'll check our shorts aren't falling down. No one needs to see that again. Remove the flying hive tyrant, the farts fine box, and a poop emoji. No, you shouldn't be able to get out of there. Should we see if we can catch a bristlenose? No, yeah, no. And a big explosion of gunk coming out from under there. So that's probably where one of the male. Oh, yeah, that's a spot he's just gone under the wood. Um, yeah, the happy car are hiding down behind the filters. So now we grab our Aquarium Adventures towel, dry our hand off. This blows the puffer. But yes, so the snails is because I breed and actually sell the ram's horns. The jungle vole, yeah, it's going a bit nuts. It's not far off of getting to the other end of the tank. And it's starting to spread as well, which is cool as well. There's more plants means less nitrates. Means hopefully we have to do less water changes, in theory. Although in actual fact, the fact that we now got 300 bristlenoses in that tank, yeah, it's not really going to help. I do have a spare tank, technically. I'd rather not have to set it up though, because it's not the best and I haven't got any stuff to put in it. I'd need to get a filter, a heater, chunk of wood, and yeah. So I think I think I know what's going to happen is at some point, probably the next spawns, I'm probably going to have to sacrifice a spawn, which is not a nice thing to do. But I'm going to have to just because I haven't got space for them anymore. Pardon me. But yeah, so as a quick look around the tanks, obviously, Floofy boy back where he should be. And yeah, what else have we been up to this week? Really not much. Wife overheard me talking and asked about me, realising I'm quite fond of you. Oh, bless you. Hello, Mrs. Austin. Hope you're all well. Greetings from the east of the UK. About as far east as, well, not really as far east as you can get without getting your feet wet. That's K, but I'm not far off. And yes. Hopefully at some point someone else does a presentation or something in Norwich Forum, K, and we can meet up again and then go upset someone. But hey, at least we know how to get escape nature now from there, so we're okay. I've not been there in a long time though. Mainly because they don't sell bristle noses. I would have thought that bristle noses would have been a rather good thing to have in a heavily scaped tank, as they clean the algae for you. And produce plenty of fertilizer, so you don't need to use so much yourself. Oh, bless you, Kate. Well, I suppose, yeah, we do know each other a bit better now, so we wouldn't feel quite so weird talking to each other. We'd have a bit of a natter and a laugh, I think would be the case. And I would, if it was George Farmer again, I would definitely have to take the mickey out of him a bit. But yeah, up to that point, my fish keeping claim to fame was that my hands appeared in one of George Farmer's videos. Uh, Scared nature. Scaped nature, you mean? But yeah, scared nature. A bit too GF. Yeah, it's a bit too. Yes, auto carrot. Yeah, I got the kind of feeling that my philosophies don't mesh with theirs very well. Um, yeah, first thing I'd do in most of those tanks would be turn the lights way down and yeah, put some bloody livestock in them. Yeah, yeah, they are expensive as well. I mean, certain things like the tropica plants, are the price of tropica plants are pretty much anywhere, but yeah, other things are. You look at a pair of aquascaping scissors and they're like 25 quid, and you're like, ooh, no, thank you. It's like I'm only using them to trim through plant stems that aren't even woody. They don't need to be that. Excuse me, that expensive. The ones I got came off Amazon as part of a set for about $6.99, and they're probably the sharpest scissors I've got, apart from the ones I use for modelling. But there's a reason for that. Ah, yes. Saying that you just spent 50 quid on plants. Yeah, the thing with the plants though is they produce more plants, and then you can spread them around and around. I mean, I've got Bacopa now in like 3 tanks or compactor. I've got, from one plant I bought. I've got Anubias in most of my tanks from one plant I bought. Um, all the crypts in all my tanks come from the ones that were in here. I'm going to strip this thing down to get rid of the Camellanus worms. If you pronounce it that way, you don't get in trouble with the algorithm. Um, Crypts are awesome. They're easy to look after, and they just do what they do generally. Um, yeah, so when I stripped that down, I literally threw out like 5 gallons of plants. That was without putting water in there. There was 5 gallons of plants in there. Um, People say, "Oh, why didn't you sell them? Why didn't you?" I would have taken them, or you could have taken them to the LFS and sold them to them. And I'm like, they come out of a tank that's got Camellanus worms in it. I'm not giving them or selling them to anyone. They're going into the garden waste bin and being composted. Um, I'm not taking that risk. Okie doke, Marek. You know I'm here if you need a chat. Um, but mwah, ending kisses. Rabbit snails eat all the spare moss and Sawasa sang. Or underwater tang. Yeah, as the other thing I did get today, because the algae in that tank has killed all the moss. So I did buy another tub of moss. I'm going to stick some of that in with the blue shrimp and new fishies, and then figure out where I'm going to put the rest of it. Not in with any of these because the plecos will just demolish it, or the snails. I'll find somewhere to stick the rest of it. Yeah, I'm sure everyone's sending big hugs and loves to Marek. I won't go into what's going on, but I'm sure they're all appreciated. We love you, Marek. We do. We love you, Marek. We do. We love you, Marek. We do. Oh, Marek, we love you. I'll keep it quiet. If you decide you want to tell people, you can tell people, Marek. I'm not going to start spreading things around. There's only one thing I want to spread. Sorry, I couldn't resist it. It's too easy and too obvious. See you later, sweetie. Yeah, so what else have we got? What else are we doing this week? Another another question I was asked about the Queen's passing and getting a new monarch. No, we don't vote for the King or the Queen in the UK. That is a birthright. Automatically passes down to the reigning monarch's oldest surviving child, which is why we have King Charles III. And the King's consort, Camilla. Let's just keep our fingers crossed that Harry never ends up on the throne, because yeah, then we'll be stuffed. Because it will no longer be Windsors. Then it will be Hewitts that are the royal family. And no one wants Meggie Merkin as a bloody queen. She can, yeah. I think that pretty much sums up the entire country's feelings towards Meghan Markle. Yes. And we've lost everyone. Hey, for the first time, we've got more thumbs up than viewers. So this is it. Everyone was here to see Marek. Becca's still there. And Loco is as well. Good. Yeah. I think there's a huge amount more happened this week, all that I've encountered or gone on. Cats scaring the living bejesus out of me, work, water changes, new fishies, ghosties, new breedies. Yeah, I think we covered it all. So if anyone's got any questions they would like to ask, speak now or forever hold your peace. If you haven't seen, I did put a post in the community tab on Friday explaining why there wasn't a video. I also added a picture of a gravestone from a cemetery we visited a couple of weeks ago. Now, it's a fairly recent one. grave-wise. However, the person's name was just too funny for me not to. And if I say, you can look at the community tab if you don't believe me, but the person's name was Richard, known as Dick Cocking. Oh boy. Yes, so safe to say I didn't even stifle a laugh. I just cracked up when I saw that. Yes, Mr. Dick Cocking. Oh boy. Admittedly, when he was born, it was probably not as amusing a name, as words change in their usage throughout the years. But yes. At least the lad I went to school with, Richard Headland, didn't abbreviate his name to Dick, because then he would have been Dick Headland. But that's what we all called him anyway. So it was that one. So I do sometimes use the community tab. So if there's anything I need to communicate, I will use that. So keep an eye. You know, like if I put up new emojis or something, I'll put a post in the community tab that I've done it. I would say perhaps during my week off I'll get around to it, but I've got a lot I want to do in that week. Lots of houseworky type stuff, sort of spring cleaning stuff that didn't get done in the spring. Bring the shrimp in, sort them out, find a home for them if there are any. Do a whole bunch of research, and I want to spend a day going around Norwich visiting various historic sites. So that would be like St Stephen's Church, Elm Hill, the Cow Tower, the Cathedral. Went and by the Cow Tower because there's some interesting stories about that, following a steamboat that exploded. And a pub literally just the other side of the river, which is haunted as well. So yes, so I want to spend a day doing that. And then on top of, water changes, catching up on everything else, blah blah blah, filming things. I think I'm going to be wanting to go back to work to have a rest, pretty much. It's usually the case when you have a week off work, you end up doing more than you would have done at work. Annoying, but the way it is. So we might do more stuff. It all depends. More places, as it were, as I'm wandering around Norwich. We'll see how my wandering legs get, because it's not a huge city, but when you're walking around it, it feels a lot bigger than it is. At least it won't be hot and sunny. But that's the good thing. It'll probably be cold, grey, and rainy, which works quite well. So if I was to try to work out my directions, but yeah, I think Elm Hill and the Cathedral are pretty close, so that wouldn't be too tricky. The Cathedral is going to be either a very long video or a couple or 3 videos, so I'm not even sure if you're allowed to film inside. Might be one where I just go in and wave the camera around a bit and not speak. Obviously, if you have to pay to go in, then we probably won't be going in, but we'll wander around the outside and look at the buttresses and things. Waffle on about some historical stuffs and any spooky stories from the area, which there are plenty. I know Elm Hill is haunted by at least the ghost of Father Ignatius and a couple of others, I think, as well. Um, Elm Hill, it's one of those little roads that basically hasn't changed since about the 14th or 15th century. All the houses are fully Grade 2 listed, all the buildings are fully listed, so you can't change them. The road is still cobbled rather than tarmac or paved. So yeah, proper historical site. So yes, I'll probably be wandering around Norwich, trying not to get lost and using Google Maps for directions, rather than being one of those people walking around with their phone in their hand going, I'm walking into bollards, I'll probably stick the phone in my pocket and plug my headphones into it and listen to where I'm supposed to be going. At the end of Rampant Horse Street, turn left. Go down Prince Michael's back alley. Then turn left onto Lower Goat Lane. Yeah, there's some weird street names in Norwich. For a city that's a few thousand years old, it's not a surprise. I mean, heck, even Attleborough, my town, dates back to the Viking invasion, pre-1066. So there's been a settlement here for well in excess of 1,000 years. The name is taken from the original of Eitlingsburg, the town belonging, or the burg belonging to Eitling, the chieftain. I think, is that it? Yeah, something like that anyway. Weird random historical fact. I used to know Wyndham. I think originally Wyndham was Windham. Yeah, I can't remember what that one meant though in ye olde English. Yeah, I'm having a bad hair day. It's because I washed it this morning. Oh, that was lovely. Nice hot bath. Just lay in there for an hour, soaking and listening to ghost stories. What else have we been up to this week? Nothing much coming up. As I say, Monday's video coming will either be the new fishes or the rods and poles. Fridays will be part 2 of Oxborough Church. Austin Loco has made a frozen pizza. Ooh, well done. That can be tricky. And congratulations on remembering to put something underneath it, so it didn't just melt and go through the. Seen that many a time. Or the people who put it on something plastic and then the plastic melts. Or the people who don't take the cardboard off from underneath it and bake that into the pizza. Yes, people can find a way to mess up even the most obvious things. Yes, put the pizza on an oven tray. Yes, and that way it will stay in one piece when you take it out. Then just fold it in half and eat it. Yeah, that might only be me that does that. And Yellow's here as well, fighting away like a trooper. You've missed them, Yellow. I dropped a couple of perlers earlier. It's been a bit windy around here today, and not just outside, as is no surprise to anyone. Actually made my manager laugh yesterday because I went outside for about 2 seconds and came back in, and she's like, "What?" I figured I'd best leave that one outside. Itch on the hand. That's not a good sign on that hand. That hand starts itching, we're in trouble. Because that means the bit of bone that's floating around in there has probably moved somewhere new and interesting. Yes, there's a piece of bone floating around in the back of his hand somewhere. It's part of that knuckle. Yeah, thank you very much, Yella. So I will probably make the video at some point. But as Marco Isidori said earlier, it's like losing a grandmother. It's pretty much the best way I've seen it put, and that's probably how at least most of the UK feels. I'm not sure about the Commonwealth and the various countries of the Commonwealth, but yeah, she's much missed. And as I say, I was going to do the video, and I started filming it and started blobbing. You know, someone was chopping onions somewhere, so I stopped and figured for the best. No one wants to see or hear me do that on camera. I mean, I know I'm known for bodily functions, but preferably not those ones anyway. But yes, so we have King Charles now, so onward we go. Long live the king. But yeah, it's kind of weird in one way, because you know, anyone under the age of probably like 70, 75, 80 can't remember King George VI, I think. Yeah. So we've had Queen Elizabeth II all our lives, and yeah, it's going to take some getting used to. Plus, obviously, other things like the money's going to change, the stamps are going to change. I would assume they're going to change the picture on them to Charles rather than Elizabeth. Instead of God Save the Queen, we're going to sing God Save the King. The ships of the Navy will no longer be HMS as in Her Majesty's ship. They will all be HMS His Majesty's ship. All these little things that will change. That now they're little things that every so often one of them will catch you out and you go, oh yeah, for years to come. So Charles is known for his love of the environment, the natural world, conservation. So although technically the monarch doesn't have much in the way of actual power, hopefully he'll start pushing that and get things done that way. Things that really do need to be addressed, and as that seems to be his pet project, hopefully he'll be able to do something about that. But yes, getting a new monarch and a new prime minister in the same week, and obviously we don't vote for a monarch. But second prime minister in a row we haven't voted for. But yeah, And yes, as you say, old money and stamps will be collectible. There's a lot of it around though, so it's going to be a long time before it's worth more than the face value. So there will basically come a point where all the money with the Queen's face on will no longer be legal tender, and you can't spend it. Basically, you'd have to take it into a bank and get the bank to change it for a legal version. Speaking of which, I think it's the end of this month. So any Brits in chat, if you've got any of the old paper £20 notes stashed away anywhere, spend them now, because they're no longer legal tender from the end of the month. Yeah, so it will be interesting, Mark, to see what he pushes. He is known as a green, conservative, not conservative, conservationalist, naturalist, not naturist. Oh dear, no one wants that. But between him and the, bloody wish I hadn't cashed that on 20 in. It's going to be a long while before the money's worth more than its face value. So one of those of like, what is it? Is it pneumatists, coin collectors, something like that? Yes, philatelists is stamps, horologists is clocks and watches. Yeah, pneumatists I think is money. Hopefully better deal for former service personnel. Yeah, that would be nice. Keep a couple of squids just for nostalgia. Oh yeah, I'll do that. Probably keep a £5 note, and one of each of the coins. Stick them in my mementos box that Mary got me. Not going to be worth a fortune in future, but it'd be nice to have them. And so you can still do the old trick with the money, where if you fold it in a certain way, you can make the Queen go from looking kind of miserable to smiling, which is always fun to do. And let's be honest, we'd rather remember her smiling and cracking the odd joke. I'm saying, if you're unaware, during World War II, Princess Elizabeth, as she was at the time, actually served for the Royal Auxiliary Service, and she was a truck driver, truck mechanic, and the first royal to ever ride a motorbike. She wasn't afraid to get her hands dirty. Apparently she would actually, after she'd done her day of fixing trucks or whatever, hands covered in grease and grease smudges on her face and things like that, like you always end up with, she would then go and see her friends and whatever and go, look, I've done my bit, I'm covered in dirt. What have you done? Yes, Queen Elizabeth the trucker. Yes. In the American dollar, if you fold it a certain way, it looks like the Twin Towers are on fire. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not. As I've said, I don't want any nastiness said about the Queen. I'm not going to make any jokes about the Twin Towers. Especially as it's the anniversary of 11/9. Yes. Was it? Is it 11/9? Oh, it is the anniversary today of 11/9. I know you weren't making a joke, Yella. Don't worry. Yeah, she was. She was a good person. Some have said bad things, and yeah, there's been things during her reign or her life that she probably regrets. Um, Certainly, the latest thing with Prince Andrew, sorry, Andrew Duke of York, he's been stripped of his prince title, um, and all his royal funding due to what has happened. But we won't go into that. The other one that people have said is the royal family, they just take the money, take taxpayers' money, blah 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 blah. It costs us a fortune. It doesn't. For quite a long time now, the royals have paid their own way. They pay their own taxes. Admittedly, a lot of the reason they can pay their own way is they own a fair portion of the country. Um, but yes, they pay their own way. We, as a people, do not pay for their upkeep in general. However, I mean, for the Queen's funeral, the public will pay for a chunk of it. Um, but you know, it's the kind of thing we aren't going to get upset about, because a head of state that's served with distinction for 70 years. I mean, just think about that. Doing a job because you were born into it, you had no choice in the matter for 70 years. And was it 70 years, 214 days, I think it was, that she was monarch. She became, queen at 25 when her father abdicated. So, yeah, I mean, I'm just having the same. None of us, literally, none of us are going to work that long, let alone have the same job all our lives. So, yeah, that in itself demands respect. That and keeping Prince Philip in line as well. He was a character. Um, what a lot of people don't realise, a lot of what he said, the so-called gaffes and faux pas, were purely said. Oh, yeah, it was when her father died. Yeah, it was the one. Was it the one before abdicated? Yeah, it was Edward who abdicated, wasn't it? I can't remember, but yeah, yeah, he became king because his brother abdicated. Yeah, it kind of happened a fairly short period of time, but there's been a lot of stuff going on lately in hearing about all these things. Have I seen the movie The King's Speech? I did watch it years ago. Not watched it recently. That was that about the abdication? I can't remember. Yeah, it was a very good movie to watch. But I say certainly, if you want to see how a state funeral is done, then I'm sure it will be on every TV channel, pretty much in the world. Um, I had it on Saturday. Yeah, about her dad's. Yeah, George VI had a bit of a stutter. Um, which is kind of a problem when you're going to have to give public speeches and things like that. But yeah, they all got on with it. work around these things, try and avoid saying certain words. But if nothing else, he brought forward attention to people who did have a stutter or a stammer, and made it more accepted. But yeah, it's yeah, it's. I'm not safely say I wouldn't want to be a royal, especially not one in line to the throne. Um, yeah, it's a lot of work. Um, I know, looking in from the outside, we just see like the foreign jollies to go see the dignitaries and blah 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 and whatever. But yeah, it's a lot of work. I wouldn't want to do it. Heck, I get grumbly enough about not working full time because I don't want to do 40 hours a week, and I don't want to know how many hours a week they put in. Um, yes, yeah, it's. I was trying to work out the list of the kings and queens that we've had over the centuries, and yeah, it goes back a long, long way. And obviously, it's not always been the Windsors. It was the Stuarts and the Tudors and all that as well. And I still don't know what we're going to call the era because we've already had an Elizabethan era from Queen Elizabeth I. So whether it will be known as the second Elizabethan era or something else, I don't know yet. But historians will figure that one out. Um, quite what we call the King Charles era, I don't know. Hmm. So we've already had two King Charles as well. So there's a lot in being a royal. As I said, I don't want to. I wouldn't want to be. I wouldn't really want to be a politician. That's one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't jobs. Um, I'm quite happy as it were, to be a no-name serf peasant that just does a job and goes home and forgets about it at the end of the day and is instantly replaceable. With a bit of a YouTube channel, has a bit of natter every now and then, waffles about rubbish. Really, that's pretty much me. Um, Nothing of any real import, which I like. It's less stressful, and I don't deal well with stress, so that's why I live the life I live. Um, yeah, yeah, so there we go. So, really, has anyone got any questions or points or anything I'd like to say? And as I also, as it is that day, I will before give the only salute I'm qualified to give, which is the Cub Scout salute, as to those who also lost their life on the 9th of September in the terrorist attacks in the US. Make a brilliant politician just win every argument by farting. Yeah, I've seen a lot of good memes about Larry the cat lately. Oh, thank you very much, Mark. I'll try to have a good week. I'm working a lot of it again, but um, yeah, I think I speak too plainly to be a politician. Um, but yeah, I say Larry the cat is going to have to train another human. Oh, sorry, Prime Minister. If you don't know, Larry is the cat that lives at 10 Downing Street, and yes, every few years he gets a new owner. That's a I do have to wonder whether he ever like spiked shat in Boris's shoes or something. It wouldn't surprise me if he did, because Larry seems to be more sensible than most of the politicians. I'm more like to listen to what Larry the cat has to say than a lot of them. Let's be honest. Um, he's also the only one in 10 Downing Street I'd like to give belly rubs to. What you know about the crows they keep? Yes, there's the crows in Downing Street, the ravens at the Tower of London. Um, Probably the same public servant looks after the cat. It probably is, but the cat has to get used to all these random people in their house. And we know what cats can be like with strangers. There's going to be a lot of butthole being shown. Um, I think that should be one of the things they do for a new prime minister is before you actually get the job, you've got to be accepted by the cat. Because if the cat don't like you, I'm going to trust the cat far more than the people that voted for you. Especially as the people who actually vote for the prime minister are the people in that party, not the public. We don't vote for the prime minister; we vote for the party we want. Um, I mean, who the prime minister is can make a big difference. Yeah, it was. It was relatively. I mean, the Conservatives only had put forward two choices: Rishi Sunak and Liz Truss. Rishi, having been Chancellor of the Exchequer all the way through COVID, it kind of shot him in the foot, and the fact that it's kind of known that his wife, being a billionaire, doesn't pay any tax, kind of thing going on. It's Humphrey looking after the cat. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, as I've said before, I mean that show is a satire, but it's not really that satirical. It's basically the truth of what's going on behind the scenes. Um, yeah, and yes, Boris Johnson was just. I mean, don't get me wrong, he did well at the start of COVID. Maybe a bit late, but it's one of these things where no one wanted to jump the gun, as it were, too early. But yeah, the longer it went on, the worse and worse, and the more screw ups he made. I mean, I'm old enough to remember, like back in the early '90s, when we had a politician who hadn't not only well, I mean, he had an affair. Let's be honest, with a lady of the night, John Miller. Well, no, David Miller. That was it. And that was like front page news, and he basically got fired. He was like, "Yeah, we can't have you around." And now we got prime ministers having affairs and getting women pregnant, and it's nothing. Like, no, you should have been sacked for that one. you know, we don't want someone leading the country who can't even keep their own marriage together. But anyway, on that bombshell, thank you very much, everyone, for turning up. thank you for all the lovely comments about Her Majesty. And thank you for being nice. I've not had to block anyone, so that's a bonus. But yeah, everyone stay safe. Hopefully a better week next week. Have fun. Enjoy your hobbies. Peace out. Rock on. And bye-bye. God save our gracious King. Long live our noble King. God save our King.